Welcome to WagerTalk TV. I'm Kelly Stewart, joined today by Teddy Covers. Teddy, we're going to talk about something that I'm not too keen on, because mainly I'm so engulfed in college football that I try not to pretend that I care that much about the NFL. But NFL preseason, you're going to tell us how to make a little bit of money today.
Yes.
First and foremost, do your homework. What does do your homework mean?
Doing your homework means that you're not relying on some clip that you saw on ESPN or some national TV piece or some national ESPN piece. Doesn't matter. Doing your homework means looking at local news sources, the beat writers for the team. Remember, point spreads get decided after halftime. The mainstream will tell you, oh, yeah, so-and-so is going to sit, so-and-so is going to start. That doesn't matter. What matters is who's going to be in the game after halftime, how much of an emphasis does the coach have on actually doing something and accomplishing something in the second half of these games. And that's info you can really find from local news sources and nowhere else.
So you want to bet the actual facts, not just somebody else's opinion on what they think is going to happen.
Well, when you talk about betting facts, not opinions, look, we all know the Eagles are going to be great, and the Steelers are going to be great, and the Patriots, and, you know, on and on down the line. You can list all your Rams are going to be, and the Vikings, all the top contenders. Those are opinions about how good these teams are going to be in the regular season. None of that matters in August. None of it. So when I say bet facts, not opinions, it's not about how good the team's going to be a month from now. It's about what's the team trying to accomplish for this particular game this week. And you'll find that your opinions about how good teams are going to be will often hurt you more than help you in August.
So whenever we're betting any kind of football, we talk about key numbers. Mm-hmm. I learned last week, apparently the number 3, which is a huge key number in the NFL, doesn't mean anything in preseason.
You can say it, Kel. 3s don't mean shit in the preseason. They really don't. 1s and 2s are the key numbers in August. Here's why. You're down 10, right? You score a touchdown. In the regular season, you're always going to kick the extra point. In the preseason, no, you're going to go for 2 because you don't want to get this game into overtime. No coach will play for OT. You're down 7, as you said the other night, the Hall of Fame game. Your classic example, they score the TD, they'll go for 2 at the end. Someone will win games or lose games by a point or 2 points in the preseason, far more than the regular season. Therefore, don't pay extra to get on or off 3. It's 1s and 2s you need to pay attention to as the key numbers at this time of the year.
Let's talk about injuries in the preseason. Like you said, you follow the beat writers, you find out that there's significant injuries, but how much do those really matter?
Well, the injuries to the starters don't matter a whole lot because the starters don't play a whole lot in the preseason. What matters the most is when you have a cluster injury situation. What a cluster injury situation means, there's a bunch of offensive linemen hurt, or there's a bunch of wide receivers hurt, or there's a bunch of guys in the secondary that are hurt. When you have a group of a positional group that is negatively affected by injuries, what's the coach got to do? The coach has to game plan away from that group. So you won't see, if the receivers are hurt, you won't see any downfield passes. If the offensive line's hurt, you won't see anything with more than 3 or 5 step drops. If the secondary's hurt, you won't see any one-on-one coverage. The coaches will game plan to try to get around some of these personnel issues, but your number 1 bet against in preseason NFL is teams with cluster injuries at basically any position.
Very nice. All right, something else that we always talk about with certain teams is there's quarterback battles. Like, we typically know, okay, Tom Brady is going to play maybe 1 or 2 snaps here and there during the preseason. We're not going to see a lot from him. But teams where we don't know who the starting quarterback is going to be, that seems like something that the bettor should focus on.
Well, there's, conventional wisdom when it comes to the NFL preseason. It says, oh, look for quarterback battles. And they're going to get a lot of hype from the QB battles that are first stringers, who's going to win the job. But the way to actually make money in the preseason, we talked about it already, who's going to be on the field in the second half. So the backup quarterback battles are the ones that are actually the most profitable for bettors. The teams that have a competition for the backup QB job. Why? The coach has to call plays to see if these guys can do anything, and there's legitimate heated competition between 2 guys who are going to be playing snaps after halftime. It's the backup QB battles, not the starting QB battles, that'll make you the most money in August.
So we talked about earlier coaches and how they have like a game plan, so to speak, for what they want. What am I supposed to be listening to? What are some key words maybe that we should listen to when you hear the coaches speak? If they're mad about something the week before, if there's something they're really looking to, focus on for a certain game.
Sure. I know we talk about the coaches Coaches' quotes and coordinator quotes are very, very meaningful when we talk about the offensive and defensive coordinators. What am I looking for? I'm looking for any evidence of cluster injuries, any evidence of we want to evaluate our depth this week, anything that'll give you a hint about what a coach is thinking game plan wise. You want to read between the lines sometimes for what the coaches say, but maybe and this is, I've saved it for last. I'm going to bring it up right here. Blitzing. Teams don't handle blitzes well in the preseason. Backup offensive linemen and backup running backs miss blitzes. So when you find a defensive coordinator and get a good quote, say, yeah, we're going to work on blitzing this week, that's a bet on team, plain and simple.
All right, last but not least, one of the things that you have down on the notes, I'm laughing because I'm a dog bettor, so I hate laying points, but if you're laying more than 2 points, what do you say to these guys? Like, it's either bet on or bet against?
Well, we talked a lot in this video about different teams you might be wanting, the situations you want to be betting on these squads or betting against these squads. If you're laying more than 2 in an NFL preseason game, I understand you might have one of the 2 factors. You might have a bet on or a bet against. You better have both of the 2. If you're going to lay points successfully in August, you want a bet on element for the team you're supporting and a bet against element for the team you're betting against. Otherwise, I got a great bet on. If there's no bet against it, laying points will get you in trouble.
Good stuff. Maybe I might actually make a wager this preseason for the first time. Thanks to Teddy Covers. Good stuff as always. $2 Tuesdays. Get our hottest handicappers plays for only $2 at WagerTalk.com. And as always, if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel.